Hello and welcome to the Backyard Smokemaster Barbecue Podcast. I'm Kenyatta Robinson, and today I have a very special guest. She was my guest on my very first podcast, and I'm thrilled that she is back. My lovely wife, we just celebrated our 30th wedding anniversary a couple of weeks ago, so I'm very happy that Jeannine is back and joining me on the podcast. So how you doing today?
I'm good. I'm hanging out with you, which is really a nice treat. So thank you for inviting me.
Well, truth be told, I have been trying to get Jeannine back on the podcast for a long time. And I am hopeful that the time in between her appearances won't be as lengthy as it was from the first time that she came on. We're working on that. So be nice to her so that make her feel welcome so that she continues to come back and join us. But I also really wanted to have you on the podcast because you really gave me like a burst of barbecue energy that was totally unexpected. Many of you may know that the way that I got my start in barbecue was largely inspired by Jeannine's dad.
Yeah.
And because we would go over to his house and boy, he would just rave about his ribs and talking about how long they were on the smoker. And when you got them, they were, he was the champion of
so
making these fall off the bone ribs, baby back ribs, spare ribs.
Very good.
And it really got me motivated and thinking, you know what, man, I want to learn how to make some good barbecue in my backyard. So that really inspired me. And just, I got so motivated one year, I think it was 2014 or 2015. I can't remember.
That's probably about right.
But for Father's Day, I went out and bought myself a Weber Smokey Mountain, and I had the 18-inch model, which is the middle size. There's also a smaller one that's the 14-inch.
I think my dad had a small one on his, like, literally his little porch, backyard porch.
I think it was an 18. I think I saw it.
Okay.
Because I think I saw your brother cooking on it. And I'm pretty sure it was an 18.
He didn't have any room for anything bigger than that.
No, the 14 is really small.
Okay.
But you know, it's good too. You can cook on it, but I'm pretty sure your dad, I think, had the 18. And then there's also the 22-inch, which is the really large one. So I went out, I got myself the 18-inch version. And at that time, I just had completely no concept, no understanding at all about temperature control, what I should be doing. I just knew that I wanted to learn about smoking meat. Before I get too far into this, want to invite you guys who are joining us, please leave comments, get in the conversation, ask questions. Love to hear from all of you. And just checking in right now, I see, I guess
Stranger.
I missed a few of these
Stranger danger.
So let me start off with Mr. Okori Ramsey.
Wow.
I don't know that if he's ever tuned in to one of my podcast live streams before, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention that this is my best friend.
Yeah.
We have been running tight like since we were 9 years old. So we're talking 40 plus years of brotherhood, best man at each other's weddings. Glad to see that he's joining in, at least hopefully for a little bit, checking us out on the podcast. And let's see what else he said. Love the teamwork. And then we got greetings from my cousin Angel. She says, hi, cousins. Hey, Angel, thanks for tuning in. Got to make sure I hit all of these.
Yeah, I think you do.
And of course, then Corey's going to rib Jeannine a little bit. Really, Jeannine, stranger? So yes, yes. So thank you all for tuning in.
Yeah.
We really do appreciate the support. And also, before we go too far, let me also say that this episode, this podcast is sponsored. I do have a sponsor.
Woo!
That sponsor is me. This episode of the Backyard Smoke Master Barbecue podcast is sponsored by Backyard Smoke Master Barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
And I do want to let you guys know about an exciting feature that's on the website, backyardsmokemaster.com. When you go to the website, up in the upper right-hand corner, and I should have shown this, but in the upper right-hand corner, there's a little chat icon. Just click on that chat icon, and it will allow you to ask me any question about barbecue, and you will get an instant response. So it doesn't matter what time of day, this is available 24/7. And it's really cool. So you type in like, how do you smoke baby back ribs? And you will get an instantaneous response with detailed step-by-step instructions. So all you have to do is go to backyardsmokemaster.com/ask, and then hit that little chat bot icon up in the upper right-hand corner and ask your question, and then you'll be asked just to provide your name. You can just give your first name and your email address, and then you will get step-by-step instructions or a really detailed answer to whatever your question is about barbecue. Now, if you get on there and you ask a question about football, you probably won't get much of a response, but it is set up to provide a lot of detail with regard to barbecue. Basically, a lot of it is based on the content that has been provided on my YouTube channel, and there are over 100 videos. So it's quite an extensive library. We've covered a lot of different topics and things. So go ahead, check that out. I think it's really impressive. I'm really happy with it, and I think you will be too if you check it out. But back to the story. Let's make sure, though, I never want to get too far ahead with the losing track of some of these comments. So Corey says, I just found y'all live. I will tune in more often. Okay. You just found us. Okay. I'll let that go.
That's okay.
Oh, and here's a comment from another special person. It says Ren, but that is actually our daughter, our 18-year-old daughter, Erin, who is home for winter break from school. Actually, we're both sitting here representing her school, Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo. So always glad when Erin has not only time to visit us and be with us, but to check out her old man on, looks like she's tuning in from YouTube.
Oh, cool.
Angel says, ooh, I smoked my first meat for Thanksgiving, so I'll likely take you up on that chat opportunity.
That is so cool.
That is outstanding. Matter of fact, if I recall, I think I saw where Nate posted a photograph on Facebook of you smoking something. I can't remember if it was turkey or ribs.
Yeah.
Can't remember, but that's great that you are out there on the smoker.
Yeah,
that's outstanding. Do you wrap your ribs? All right. Sometimes I do wrap my ribs, but of late I have not been wrapping my ribs.
You regret it?
No.
No? Huh.
I guess it kind of depends on what your goal is. Like if you're looking to get your ribs completely done in less amount of time, that's where wrapping is really a benefit. If you're okay with just letting it smoke at its natural pace, that's fine too. I know if your goal is to have a more fall off the bone type rib and you want it to be as tender as possible, that's where wrapping will also come in handy.
And yet my dad never wrapped his ribs. That was not his thing.
Yeah.
I think it was like one step he may or may not have known about, but I think as long as you were really careful, and he would watch those ribs like a hawk. It was like one, and when he got tired of, because my dad had some physical ailments, and when he got tired of getting up and down, he'd send Betty to check on the ribs. So I just think it's all about your commitment.
It's all about your commitment. And one of the things that I always tell people who are trying to learn about barbecuing and smoking meat, one of the virtues that you really need to have is patience. So if you have patience and attention to details, like your dad checking on those ribs, making sure that temperatures inside your smoker aren't getting out of control, or the surface of your ribs aren't getting too dry. If you keep an eye on it, be patient, you don't have to wrap.
He never did. And I mean, in all the years, he never did.
And then also another thing I would say is if you do wrap, I always recommend that you wrap with pink butcher paper instead of using aluminum foil.
Yeah. Foil is toxic, right?
I don't know. I guess that's a whole nother debate whether or not it's toxic, but just wrapping your ribs or any meat inside of foil really tightly, what it does is it changes how the protein is cooking. It can't breathe.
Yeah.
So basically it changes it from being slow smoked barbecue with heat and the smoke from your wood source. Instead, it changes it to being more like a steaming process inside of that foil.
It could make it mushy.
It can make it mushy, but then what it also does is when it's steaming, that beautiful bark that you've developed, and that's the surface of the meat, and that's where your rub is, and that's really where all that flavor is, you know, that you work so hard for the first few hours to develop. You wrap it in that foil, and then it starts to dissolve away. Butcher paper allows the protein to continue to breathe. So definitely recommend going butcher paper instead of foil if you do wrap. But like I said, right now, I prefer not to wrap. Travis asks, is Weber Kamado, is the Weber Summit Kamado the king? Is it the best? So that's a great question. And I can speak from the perspective, I do have a Weber Summit Kamado, and I also have a Kamado Joe, which is a ceramic cooker, which would be very similar to a big green egg. So for that type of cooker, we're talking about a charcoal-based cooker where you're cooking with either charcoal briquettes or lump charcoal, and you can add wood chunks to get your smoke flavor. So for that type of a cooker, right now, my personal preference is the Weber Summit Kamado because of its versatility, and also because the versatility in that it can do anything, essentially. So you can do low and slow cooking, you can do hot and fast. So that means you can grill at high temperatures, but you can also slow cook, barbecue, which is slow cook. You can do it. And once you get your temperature nailed down, which isn't hard to do on the Summit Kamado, it does a very good job of holding temperatures. And then the types of adjustments that you need to make in order to keep the temperature where you want it. Yeah, it's very minor, very slight. So that's what I really like about the Summit Kamado, whereas like the Kamado Joe or Big Green Egg, the downside is if you overshoot your temperature because of that ceramic build material,
big old oven,
it takes a really long time to get that temperature back down. So adjustments that you make on a ceramic cooker, it's going to take you a longer time to recover. Now, the plus side, and don't get me wrong, Kamado Joe's a great cooker as well, because when you do get that temperature locked in, it's going to hold that temperature really nice for a really long period of time. And then there can be differences as well. I did a video where we compared the Summit Kamado to the Kamado Joe. Can't remember. I think I cooked Cornish hens.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then it comes down to personal preference, because in the end, we found that the Kamado Joe had produced the hens with a more smoky taste than the Summit Kamado, and Jeannine preferred that.
Yeah, I did.
That's what she preferred. Yeah. Whereas I preferred the version that came off of the Summit Kamado, because I felt like it was a little more balanced. But that's just a personal preference. So you really can't go wrong with either one. But for my vote, I would say, yeah, the Summit Kamado is king.
Agree.
Okay, Angel says, okay, yeah, she smoked turkey parts. That's right.
I think that's just so brave. I don't know. I had such my one and only truly turkey experience did not go well, and I haven't done it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was early on in our marriage. It might have been
crucified
year
that
one
turkey.
or two.
It just did not turn out well. It died horribly.
You tried. And at that time, I wasn't of any help, because cooking just was not in my frame of thought at all.
I know.
But yeah, that's awesome. And also, again, kudos to you, Angel, because in my time since I started my YouTube channel, my observation has been that the people who barbecue and smoke meat overwhelmingly is male.
Yes, I was just thinking the same thing.
There are just, I don't know why there aren't that many women. Sometimes when you watch those shows on those barbecue competition shows,
pitmaster shows,
pitmasters, they go out of their way to find like a few women, but just based on the people that comment and the analytics that I get on my channel, it is like 90% plus men who are out here barbecuing. So I think that's awesome.
More special because she's dived in.
That's right. And I would like to see more women barbecuing.
Well, that means she can dive in for like the cookout that we might be having. I'm hoping perhaps next year, so that the women can move from helping to set it up to actually cooking. It would be neat.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Wow, we're getting a lot of comments, which is great. I really am really happy to hear from all of you guys. So Michael says, this is Captain Mike. I see you're streaming with the best wife a guy could ever ask for. That is right, Mike. And once we get through these comments, I do have a story to tell that exemplifies just how special and outstanding my wife is. So you are spot on. Will you leave the link in the subject line of the video at the end? Yes, I think you're talking about the comparison video of the Summit Kamado and the Kamado Joe. So I will make sure to add that to the show notes. Yeah. Absolutely. Amen on not wrapping.
Yeah, I think so.
Gibson says, I will have to purchase some butcher paper. I have been using foil when I occasionally wrap. Yeah, definitely get yourself some food grade pink butcher paper.
Didn't you just order it from like Amazon?
I did. I got it. It's easy to get. I got it at Amazon. I've also seen it like at the hardware stores, Ace Hardware, Home Depot, in the barbecue sections. Yeah. They all have butcher paper, so it's really easy to get now.
I haven't seen it like at Sam's Club or Costco or any of those places, but
Gibson says, because of all the smoke, women don't like the smoke. Yeah, I mean, barbecue, it can get a little grimy and dirty out there. And you're out there, and especially in the summertime, it's hot outside. Yeah, it is.
Especially where we live.
And that smoke can rise up and blow in your face. But that's just a few seconds at a time. You're not just literally standing over the smoke consistently. But I would agree that somehow barbecue has gotten the stigma is that it's
Yeah.
it's definitely an outdoor activity, and that it's a man's activity is the kind of the stigma.
But that's not the truth necessarily. I mean, it's more truth than not, but it's not the whole truth.
Very happy to see this comment. This is from Grace.
Ah,
I worked with Grace for about a year, and I'm so happy to see her commenting. OMG, it's good to see you both. Happy New Year from the Philippines. Thank you for tuning in, Grace.
absolutely.
And again, I appreciate all the help that you provided, helping me get better organized as I continue to try to move this whole backyard Smokemaster barbecue thing farther. We're trying to see how far we can take this.
Especially in 2024.
2024, we're going to be winning in 2024. Okay. Angel says, I do a lot of experimental cooking in the kitchen, so I decided to take on a new challenge.
Yeah. That is cool.
Very cool.
Oh, Corey wants an invite to
Oh
eat.
my goodness. Typical. You can invite me to eat.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think more invites would be good for next year. I'm ready for that.
Absolutely. He says he can clean too. So yeah, just keep working on Jeannine. I want to have more cookouts at the house here in the yard.
Yeah.
You know,
We have a fairly big backyard. I mean, it's not humongous, but it is set up really nicely for tables and people to just sit around, and it got nice shade because we have big redwood trees in the back. So yeah, I kind of feel like 2024 might be a good opportunity to get back out there.
we heard that.
more
We got that, live on the podcast.
Yeah.
So
I'll keep my commitment
okay, we'll see.
as long as you're ready.
Oh, I'm always ready. Now I'm ready.
Well, yeah, because you keep claiming. Well, I guess what sort of made me a little bit less, a little hesitant was because you were like, I'm gonna get a whole hog and we go just cook this thing, we go smoke it. And I'm like, wow.
That is my bucket list dream activity is to someday smoke a whole hog. Of course, I would probably have to start with a small one, like a suckling pig or something. But that is the dream, would be to do that. So I stopped talking about it because it freaks Jeannine out. We can just do some ribs, brisket, chicken.
Yeah.
I've got to
Start somewhere.
Well, for me, part of the magic of barbecue is not just the cooking of the food, but to me, barbecue is a communal activity, and it's designed to be shared with friends and family, the people that you care about.
Right.
So that's part of my motivation is to be able to share the fruits of the labor with the people that we care about.
And I think my dad embodied that. That just was something he just lived for. Like when my mother passed away, I mean, to be a little Debbie Downer, but when she passed away, we had a little bit of gathering at the house and he brought so many ribs. He just took it upon himself to just feed everybody. And I just thought, oh, that's the way to do it. That's the way to take something that's sad and make it more family oriented and supportive. And I'll never forget that.
Right. Okay, my porch barbecue says, I think men enjoy the YouTube barbecue scene because they get to buy stuff.
Lots of toys.
Have cool YouTube names.
Yeah.
And then feel good about the cook. I think men like to complicate it and get all into the details. I'm wondering if he meant to say, I think he meant to say, I think women like to complicate it and get all into the details.
I feel like barbecue is detailed. There's just so many little things to do, so many nuances. I don't know if does that make it complicated to get into the details, or could that be a good thing because there are so many details with barbecue, with rubs and prepping and all that goes into it.
When you really take barbecue seriously and you want to get better about it, a couple of other things that in addition to the patience aspect, I also think that You should also pay close attention to what happened during your cook.
Yeah.
What went well, what didn't go well. So take notes. Remember those important details and think about what you could have done the next time to make the cook better. I do that still.
Yeah,
for
he does.
every cook. I'm thinking about something. There's something out there that I could have done better,
Yeah.
could have done differently. So yeah, you can get the devil is in the details when you
Yeah.
really care about it.
But also, I think maybe people listening don't quite understand. When you say you take notes, he takes notes. Like, he has notes. He refers back to the notes, especially when he has something in mind that he wants to cook. If he wants to try out something new, test it. What have I already tested? What have I already tried? What worked? And then, like, I think you even keep notes on what Aaron and I think about the taste. And I appreciate that, because that means, to me, that shows me how committed you are and like how much you care about it. It's important, I think. At least that's what you've shown me.
Well, yeah, because I'm primarily cooking for the two of you
Right.
for the most part. So yeah, I do want to take note of what you guys like, because everyone's preferences is a little bit different.
It sure is.
Okay, so my porch barbecue, he said it the way he meant it. No, the men get into the okay, I got you. Into the details,
Yeah.
the wood, the rubs, fat side up or down.
I
Absolutely.
like that, though. I think that's just part and parcel to the commitment. That's your commitment.
Well, and I think that's what's cool about barbecue.
Mhm.
I used to just think, this was before I got serious about it. I used to just think, you get your meat,
Yeah.
throw it on the grill, you get the grill as hot as you can,
Sear it, burn
and
it.
just grill the hell out of that sucker.
Yeah.
No shade to my dad, but I just, growing up, I don't remember seeing any kind of meat thermometers. Nobody was
wasn't
looking at
his-
internal temperatures or caring about the temperature of the grill.
No, that wasn't his thing. In
It
fact,
was just,
I mean, when you looked at his equipment, it was like, where'd you get that from?
yeah. So when I got really into barbecue, and I think this what also attracted me to my porch barbecue's point, I realized that there's definitely a lot of different techniques related to barbecue, but then also the tech aspect. There are all these digital thermometers and different things that help you monitor the temperature of
And get better.
your cooker and everything like that. So for me, I'm a tech guy too. So that just gave me an opportunity to marry that. And like you said earlier, it gave me an excuse to run out and buy a lot more stuff.
Yeah, my backyard is full of your stuff.
Accessories and everything. Michael says, love your channel, buddy. I've got a yard full of big green eggs and Webers, but live in Little Rock, and I'm a PK nut.
Oh, hey.
Just picked up a second PK 360 for vacation time.
Yeah.
You'll love the Weber Smoky Mountain, what I started on. You've got some great cookers too. PK 360 is excellent as well. Definitely highly recommend it. Absolutely. And we'll talk more about that Weber Smoky Mountain in a bit. Trying to get there, but again, love all the comments. This is just outstanding.
Yeah. Cool.
Angel says, how much reading research do you do on average?
You do a lot.
I don't even know if I can quantify it.
No.
It's just kind of like just a way of life for me. So it's just a hobby. So I'm always on like a different barbecue website or forum, online forum.
I feel like you watch a lot of videos as well. And especially from like your mentor type people, you're always like checking in, like what are they working on? Like what's interesting to them. And so I feel like you're always like online searching for information.
YouTube, of course, they track us all, right? So YouTube they've got me down. So they're constantly pushing barbecue related videos and things like that into my feed. But it's just, every day I'm doing something, reading up on something related to barbecue and sports. Those are like my two big pastimes. My porch barbecue said, I said what I said. That's right. That's right. He meant what he said. He typed it exactly the way he meant it.
Absolutely.
Greg says, my research is watching YouTube. I would, yeah, that's how, honestly, that's how I learned how to barbecue, was by watching YouTube. I want to say,
Was it only YouTube?
Well, it was mostly
YouTube.
I mean, that's where it really took off for me. I know I was watching the, why can't I think of their names now? The guys with the long beards brothers, barbecue. I can't, they're like, think like ZZ Top.
Yeah.
I can't.
And they always like they're on the video, but they do a lot of narration too.
Yeah, initially you rarely saw them,
right?
But they have a great channel. When I'm thinking of how they look, they remind me of ZZ Top. I can't think of their names. I want to say Barbecue something Brothers.
Oh, maybe.
And they always say like, good. Yeah, I know one of you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think so.
My Porch Barbecue says, I watched your channel when you got your Lone Star Grillz. So that was at the very beginning.
Yeah.
What was your wife's thoughts on buying a more expensive smoker? Big step up from a Weber to a Lone Star offset. Well, I'll let you answer that.
I think I've known you long enough to know that you research things really well, and that you, especially when it comes to big things, I know that you've looked into it. So I guess I didn't really question it. I just supported it because I felt like that was something that you really wanted. And so it was good.
I'll say that I think one of the reasons why I keep saying best wife ever, Jeannine has never questioned me or fought me on any of the barbecue smokers, anything that I've purchased. And I think a big part of it is not just, like she said, she knows me and knows that I take it seriously, but also I think you really like, especially when we're able to share barbecue with others, friends, family, church.
Yeah, I feel like that makes people happy to be thought of, and it's tasty as well, and it's like a couple meals for them, and a lot of our relatives are older, so I just think it's very thoughtful. So I really like the fact that your willingness to do that, but also your willingness to help cook for church is nice too. It makes a lot of people happy. So you have to have the right equipment to do it. I think that offset really got you, it like captured your attention and got you really focused. And I think you really got focused after you had that. So for me, it's just an evolution, and I've enjoyed watching you grow.
Once I really got into barbecue and I knew that it was just going to be something I was going to continue to do, I wanted to graduate to learning how to cook with wood splits. Yeah. So a stick burner was going to be the next step in that process. So and that I did do a lot of research before I settled on the Lone Star Grillz 20x42 offset smoker.
Which the pig will fit in, right?
You can definitely get a small pig in there. Actually, it maybe even a medium-sized pig, maybe.
All right.
Maybe. We'll see if we move forward with it. We'll see.
We'll see.
All right. Corey's asking, what is your favorite meat to cook?
To cook or to eat?
No, well, like you said, he meant what he said. He said, what is your favorite food to cook? I would say that right now,
the Barbecue Pit Boys.
Barbecue Pit Boys. That's it. Yes. Sorry. I couldn't think of the name, but yes. Thank you. Yeah. Barbecue Pit Boys. I definitely started off watching a lot of their videos. But getting back to that question, it would be beef ribs. Beef ribs is my favorite to cook. But
it didn't start out that way.
No, it didn't. But I didn't really...
You didn't know I started much about them, huh?
Yeah, I started off doing brisket. And that's what everyone, when you get into barbecue, you got to learn how to do a brisket. I mean, usually they say, start with a pork butt. It's a big hunk of meat. and
you really
almost
can't.
impossible to mess it up.
Right.
Because if you get your temperatures get too hot, you can recover because it's a long cook. And yeah, it's really, you have to like really be bad.
And nobody on your channel is, right?
Well, yeah, you have to really be bad to completely ruin
Yeah.
pork butt. So start with a pork butt, and then it's like when you successfully do a brisket, it's like that's when you know you've made it. What I like about beef ribs is that it's the same, you get that same flavor from the brisket, the fatty,
Yeah, you do.
or the point, but in a little bit less time. And well, yeah, I mean, that's really it. It's the less time, and the meat turns out, wow.
But it wasn't always
Great.
that way, because I can remember one of your cooks, and it was
What?
like, I can remember that. But I would say after that, you went back to research, I think, and then from that point forward, they were very good.
All right. Now, see, you weren't supposed to say all that.
They're
but-
not always beautiful.
Okay, yeah, my first few attempts at the beef ribs were misses.
Yeah.
I think I was cooking them too long,
I think
taking
so.
them too far.
Yeah. But Nina ate them. She loved them.
Yeah. Well, I think my beef ribs have gotten a lot better.
They were delicious. They've been
since-
very moist.
since then.
Yeah.
Angel says, I enjoyed the process and outcome of my first smoke and have started learning more. And
Yeah.
that's exactly how it starts. You get this sense of accomplishment when you successfully smoke something for
Yeah.
the first time,
Yeah.
and you want to do it again. And yeah, so it's all open for you now. You've got the bug, because there's just a world of things that you can cook on your grill or on your smoker. I mean, basically it's another oven. It's like an oven, but the advantage is that you can get very much more precise and detailed in terms of the temperature that you're cooking at.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is that in barbecue, you're adding smoke flavor. And that's something that you're not going to get indoors. And
No.
I guess you could use liquid smoke.
No.
But that doesn't.
It doesn't do it.
Yeah.
It's just not enough.
We have worked through most of these comments.
Okay.
So Corey, I think we've got a convert, even though he's not. I'm trying to get Corey to get out there and start cooking.
Yeah.
I was over at his house.
It's got a big
He's
backyard.
got a huge backyard, and over in the corner, way off on the side, I
Unloved.
spotted, yes, a completely unloved Weber kettle just sitting there.
Oh.
And he absolutely needs to start cooking that Weber kettle.
Yeah.
We're gotta work on that with him. Okay. I want to get back to the story that I wanted to tell, but I think the best way to get through it is I got a couple of videos that will exemplify why this Christmas and our 30th wedding anniversary definitely special, and why, again, Jeannine is the best wife a guy who loves barbecue can have.
Aw.
I'm just going to play the video. This happened a couple of days before Christmas. 2 days before Christmas, and my wife let me know that something was going to be delivered today, and I thought, okay, maybe it's meat or something for me to smoke. Delivery guy has just arrived. I have no idea what's going on, except she came to me saying, my plan was to have it delivered so that you could unbox it and make a video, but apparently it's already assembled. And she thought maybe I'd be disappointed about that, but heck no. If this thing is already assembled, I don't want to have to put it together. This is awesome. So I have no idea what is about to come off of this Ace delivery truck. Apparently she bought me a smoker or a grill for Christmas. It's also our 30th wedding anniversary, so I think it's a good gift. So the Ace truck is here. They're getting it off of the smoker or off of the truck. So let's go see what it is. My goodness, I am totally shocked. Oh, okay. So it's a Weber Smoky Mountain. Oh, this is awesome, and it looks like the big one. Is this the 22?
This is the 22.
Oh, all right.
That's a man grill.
Yeah. No, because one of my very first smokers was a Weber Smoky Mountain, the 18,
Yeah.
and I was a newbie, and I got frustrated because I couldn't control the temperatures well, and I sold it, and then I've been regretting it ever since.
Well, the thing about Weber is they still make replacement parts for every grill they've ever
Right.
made.
It's super easy for maintenance or anything.
And their cookbook's actually pretty accurate.
Yes.
Really accurate. So check out. We're gonna cook you in a second.
Oh, so that's awesome.
That's a man.
Man.
Good luck, sir.
All right, appreciate it.
Well, and they will, a nice feature of Aces, they will haul away the old grill that's been in the garage for forever.
Okay, so we can get rid of there's the gas grill that has been in my garage now for a few years. Once I moved on to charcoal and pellets and my stick burner. Okay, cool.
Where would you like the new smoker?
Well, let's put it in the backyard.
Do it.
Well, and free assembly, which is a plus for me.
Here you guys this delivery receipt.
Thank you. What's your name?
Thomas.
Thomas. All right, we gotta give props to Thomas.
All right, well, happy to see you, one of Santa's, yeah, one of Santa's elves. Morning. All right, one last short clip. I say that I am completely stunned. That is an overstatement or an understatement. I had just had no idea that that she would go out and get me a new smoker. I'm thinking maybe I mentioned to her that Creekstone Farms was having a sale, and I had just bought some beef ribs. So I thought maybe she got me a brisket or something. Am I looking in the right? Okay, I usually don't just bust out my phone and start talking to it, so I wasn't sure if I was looking in the right place where the camera is. But anyway, wow, this is beyond awesome. So totally surprised. I usually don't get big time surprises like this. I usually have to go out and buy stuff myself. So I am just beyond thrilled. All right. And I still am. I'm still just blown away. So really do appreciate the surprise. You really got me on that one. Another ad sponsored by Backyard Smokemaster Barbecue. We have just released our first online digital barbecue course, and it is ready to go. If you are one of the first 10 people, one of the first 10 students to sign up, you can receive 50% off. I'm thinking this is going to be the lowest price that the course will ever be available for. It's called How to Become a Backyard Barbecue Pitmaster in 1 month. So it's designed basically to give you the foundation for learning how to smoke food, low and slow primarily with
meats.
Charcoal. So if you have a Weber kettle, Corey, or
Dust
any
it
other,
off.
or any other charcoal-based cooker, we go very extensively into learning how to properly control temperatures. And that's really the key.
Yeah.
Once you learn how to control the temperature on your smoker or your grill, you can cook just about anything. That's really the core foundation and the secret, the first secret to it all. So definitely check out the course. You can go to backyardsmokemaster.com/course to get more information and specifics about this program. Let's jump back into the comments. Here's another person near and dear to my heart, my cousin.
Oh,
And I think this may be her first time tuning in to the podcast. So
that's cool.
appreciate seeing Keisha in the comments. I think she's saying that I got full support from Jeannine because she likes to eat. That's right.
Isn't that the truth?
That's right.
It's very true.
Michael says, your input was very prominent in my decision to buy my first Lone Star Grillz. So I do appreciate that, because that's really how my public presence with barbecue got started. The channel, I mean, really exactly like the delivery of my Weber Smokey Mountain. When the Lone Star Grillz offset got delivered, I just asked my daughter Erin to film it as it was being delivered, lowered off of the truck. Incredibly, I think this guy had to be, because it was incredible. He almost dropped that smoker.
Yeah, and it was on a huge pallet too. So
Yeah, and it was just swaying. It was off on the very edge of the platform, the lifter. And I had been waiting for weeks, months for this thing to be fabricated and delivered to me. So my crazy self, I ran over there and put my hands up as if this 1,000-pound smoker did tip over, as if I was going to be able to stop it from falling. But I was serious. I wanted my smoker that day. But we got that on video, and then started getting questions about the Lone Star Grillz. Did a video where I just did a walk around video and just talking about it and why I wanted it and what excited me about it. And from there, the channel just started to grow from there. So I do appreciate you, Michael, for being what I would call one of the day ones.
Absolutely.
You know, if you go back, went to when those videos were made. So glad to hear that they were helpful to you. All right, Erin is still watching, our daughter. And she said, and this doesn't surprise me, she says that your favorite meat to cook should be salmon. And that is her absolute favorite thing that I cook that she likes. She likes my smoked salmon. I do have a couple of different recipes for it. We do have a really good recipe in the course for a Cajun Creole salmon.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that she said that my favorite meat should be salmon. I do have one that I took out of the freezer. I'm going to make sure that I get that salmon smoked for her before she goes back to school.
Yep.
Michael says, FYI, and this is related to the Weber Smokey Mountain, because one of the things that I do want to do now that I have it, I've been reaching out to get tips to make sure that my experience with the Weber Smokey Mountain this time goes a lot different than the first time. So I haven't really been, like, I've been wanting the Weber Smokey Mountain, but I haven't really been following it as much of late. So I'm a little bit like a fish out of water. So I was looking for some advice about like what type of modifications should I be thinking about with regard to the Smoky Mountain, because I do remember that door on the front of it being problematic to me the first go around, with smoke escaping and leading to some temperature fluctuations that I wasn't good enough. My skill wasn't good enough to be able to really control. But anyway, just want to get more information about different mods and maybe accessories. So Michael says, FYI, Arbor Fab makes a great charcoal basket, and I've seen it, for that Weber Smoky Mountain 22. Also, Hunsaker makes an awesome rib hanger.
We have a bunch of those.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I've seen that too. Yep. unknown barbecue lid hinge is a
Cool.
must,
Uh-huh.
as a must-have as well. You need to try it. Oh, need to try Al Pastor on the PK. Okay, definitely. You have to remind me because I don't think I've ever
Mm-mm.
cooked the Al Pastor.
Mm.
But yeah, those are all great suggestions with regard to the Weber Smoky Mountain. I am looking to get a charcoal basket.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I already ordered the charcoal basket from Cajun Bandit. And then after I ordered it, I learned about the one that Arbor Fab makes. And I'm really tempted. I really want to order their version of the charcoal basket because it everyone's recommending that with the Smoky Mountain in terms of the charcoal setup that you use the minion method. And this is something I think that Harry Sue has made really popular because he's like the Weber Smoky Mountain guru king.
Yeah.
And it basically just means you take the Smoky Mountain when you set up your coals,
Like a donut.
yeah, you take out the center, the part, you leave a space in the middle, and then, yeah, you set up your coals all the way around. And it looks very much like a donut. Light the coals in the middle, and then basically you have your hot coals in the center, and then they burn outward to the unlit coals that kind of make that donut shape.
Is that like an even cook then, because of how the heat is distributed?
I think that'll make it more likely for the heat to be evenly dispersed as close as possible, especially if you're cooking with briquettes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Arbor Fab, they have a basket. It's larger than the one that comes with the standard one that comes with the Smoky Mountain. So it holds more charcoal, more fuel. And then it's got that built-in ring in the center so that you can do this minion method. And then it also has like a handle that's soldered right across the top of it to make it easier to lift in and out.
Why don't you just order it?
Well, I was looking at it today.
Should have pulled the trigger.
I priced it. I think it's like, I want to say $145. But what scared me off is that this thing must be pretty heavy because the shipping to California was like another $45.
Oh.
We're in the age of, we all want free shipping. When we,
At least you do.
yeah, okay, we'll speak for myself. I want free shipping.
Every day, all the time.
Every day.
Every order.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, I mean,
Meat, it doesn't matter. Equipment.
I mean, that's a part of it. So, yeah, I'm looking, man, that adds like another 35% to the cost. So, we'll see. I probably will order it, but, I have to get my mind right to pay that type of cost with the shipping. But thanks, Michael. Yeah, those are great tips. And then also he talked about the Hunsaker rib hanger.
Yeah.
If you get the rib hanger, that makes it so that you can hang your meat inside of the Smoky Mountain instead of just laying it across the grill grate.
Right.
So that makes it more like how the Hunsaker drum smoker cooks, or like a pit barrel. So that'll also be on my list, maybe a little bit down the road. And then also there's a hinge. So he recommends, it's pretty universal. People recommend that you buy this hinge and that you add it to the lid. So this makes it so that instead of having to take the lid and put it, find a place to put this hot lid down, you just lift it up and then it's already attached to the rest of the body of the Smoky Mountain. So actually, I did place that order.
All right.
I ordered the hinge. It was back in stock. I got mine from Cajun Bandit. My concern was that I wanted to be able to, I like that you can break the Smoky Mountain down into those separate parts.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, if we get back out there and we're smoking away from home, smoking meat away from home, I'd like to have something, a nice smoker that I can take with me that's not so heavy.
Right.
We bought a second Hunsaker drum smoker, and this was before COVID. The family was having these get-togethers, frequently a lot of cookouts. Yeah. So I was thinking it would be really cool to have a second drum smoker. but it's heavy. It's tough getting it in and out of the truck.
I think we had to have help last time.
Yeah, gotta admit it, getting older. So I'm looking for
Something
a
lighter.
little bit lighter, and I like that I can take the Smoky Mountain apart. So my concern about the hinge was whether or not that would mean that the lid would have to stay attached to the center part, like the base of the Smoky Mountain. But I understand that the Cajun Bandit version has a pin that you can pull out, and that will separate the lid from the body. So that kind of meets my criteria of being able to continue to break it all the way down. So looking forward to getting that. Angel says, I love the Weber cookbook that came with my original kettle back in the day. That's something that Weber has always been good at. The cookbooks, I have one that I got with my Weber Summit Kamado that's outstanding. And then their website, if you do get on their mailing list, they send out recipes all the time. And what I like about their online recipes is that you can easily select what type of cooker you have, and then it'll adjust the instructions based on the cooker. So if you have gas, pellet, or charcoal, you can customize the recipe online to meet the need of whatever it is that you're cooking with. All right, more love for Jeannine. Hopefully she'll take this to heart, soak it all in, and come back. Yeah, Jeannine is the best. Keisha says yes with regard to Jeannine loves to eat. No doubt.
Absolutely.
Michael, again, appreciate the kindness and support with regard to the videos.
Yeah, free shipping all the way though.
I just got the Hunsaker Vortex to go on top of my 18-inch Weber Smoky Mountain charcoal basket. The hinge is awesome. Rib hanger and probe port. Made from a brass fitting. Okay. Now, I haven't heard about this, the probe port made from a brass fitting, so I'll have to look into that. Another recommendation for the hinge. And yeah, Hunsaker, many of you know that I just talked about it. I do own 2 Hunsaker drum smokers, and they're a small, like, family-run barbecue fabrication company, and they make these awesome drum smokers, and they did the smart thing.
On wheels.
Yeah, it comes on wheels.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And they did the smart thing in that you could say that they're competing with the Weber Smoky Mountain, but the smart thing is that they do make accessories for the Weber Smoky Mountain. And one of the big selling points about the Hunsaker drum smoker is that the charcoal basket has this thing that's called a vortex. It sits on top of the basket, and it also is designed to, I think, evenly distribute the heat that rises up. Also, I think it probably helps with the air circulation and probably impacts the smoke. I don't really know all the science behind it, but I know that that's something that's separates them from other drum smokers that are out there, and they have made this vortex that you can use with the Weber Smoky Mountain to give it a similar type of effect. So that's something that they've done that I think is pretty smart. Here's another vote for free shipping.
All the way.
That's right. That's right. Free shipping every day. I'm not trying to pay $45 to have something shipped.
No.
That's a little against my soul. I've heard about this too.
Oh, have you?
He's added a gasket around the door and sealed it perfectly. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Is it Jaime or is it Jamie? I want to say it's Jaime, but forgive me if I'm not saying it correctly, but I do want to give you credit for these great suggestions. The gasket will help seal in, make it more airtight so that smoke is not escaping. And then he also says...
Oh, you're correct.
Oh, great. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Jaime says, most of the hinges have a pin to separate the lid from the center section. Okay, that's good to know. For some reason, I wasn't picking up on that aspect when I was looking at the different hinges that are out there. but that was a big consideration for me. We have worked through all of the comments.
Yeah.
And I really want to again thank Jeannine
Yeah.
for the awesome Christmas and anniversary gift.
You're welcome.
Just again blew my mind completely. And I'm really excited. Yesterday I did my burn in on the Smoky Mountain just to rid the smoker of any manufacturer oils, leftover whatever from that process, getting it ready. Tomorrow I plan to smoke a pork butt.
Yeah.
And that will help season it. So that's what everyone says. You get your Smoky Mountain and cook something that's really fatty so that it can get all up inside of the smoker.
Yes. Lots of flavor.
Lots of flavor, and that'll just make everything even better as we move forward. That's my plan for tomorrow. Just want to thank everyone for tuning in again. Really appreciate all of the comments and the feedback. One of my commitments, and you're hearing me say it, is to be more consistent with these live podcasts, and the feedback just coming from what we got today tells me that that is something that I really should do, because you absolutely want to have that type of engagement. And so I really do appreciate it. So again, just as a reminder from our sponsor, Backyard Smokemaster Barbecue, go check out this feature on our channel. If you have a question about barbecue, of course, you can continue to leave comments and ask them in response to the YouTube videos that I put out. But if you have a burning question at that moment that you want to get an answer to, check this feature out. I think it's pretty cool and unique. Go to backyardsmokemaster.com/ask. And hit that chat bot icon up in the upper right hand corner. Ask your question, and up at the top it'll say Ask Kenyatta, and that's me. And then you will get a detailed response to your question. And then also
Your class.
check out the course. We have worked really hard putting this course together. I think it'll be really good for people who want to learn more about how to barbecue, and also for people who already have experience with barbecue, but they want to level up. There's some really core good barbecue recipes for things like smoking brisket, baby back ribs, pork butt, making what I call a better than beer can chicken. It's the same concept, but I think I have a method and tools that you can use that will make it even better than what you get from a beer can chicken. We've got barbecue shotgun shells, which is a really cool appetizer that you might want to check out. So just lots of good recipes. Also, I make it a point of making myself available to the students who do sign up for the course. There'll be live streams set up specifically for the folks in the course. And because it is brand new, not only are you getting in at a great price, a great introductory price, but your feedback will also help shape the future modifications that are made to the course. My intention is also to have like a private Facebook group, but if you guys hate Facebook, maybe we'll put it somewhere else. But I want to have some type of a private interaction where
like a forum,
where people can interact with each other, get tips and tricks from each other. And then also you have personal direct access to me as well. So again, thanks everyone.
Oh wait, is the course in demand or on
okay.
demand? I'm not sure what that.
Yeah, hold on. We got a few more comments. Questions. So Angel asked, is the course on demand? It will be dripped over the course of 5 weeks because I don't want to overwhelm people with giving them too much all at once. But when you sign up, you immediately get access to the first module, which is all about learning temperature control and fire management. And then over the remaining 5 weeks in the course, the remaining 4 weeks, then additional modules are released. And then once you have them, the modules, the videos, the PDFs that have step-by-step instructions and all the detail, all of that is yours to keep forever. So then you'll be able to access those videos once they've already been dripped out. You'll be able to access those videos anytime that you want. Let's see. And I think there was one more comment from Greg.
Oh, are you doing a video on the burn-in?
Yes, I did shoot some video of the
Okay.
burn-in. So my plan was kind of to do this video all about like the delivery of the Smoky Mountain that I shared earlier, and then also combined with the burn-in, and then also some footage of me smoking the pork butt. So I'm going to try and make all of that into a single video. So yes, we'll definitely get video content on that out as well. I think we worked through all of the questions. If you do have more questions, again, go to backyardsmokemaster.com/ask. You can also send an email to me, kenyatta@backyardsmokemaster.com. And then you can leave comments. And then I'm also all on social media.
He's all over social media.
Backyard Smoke Master. Can you tell us how to sign up for the course again?
Sure.
Go to backyardsmokemaster.com/course, and that will take you right to the page that has all of the detail. And then you can also sign up for the course. I forgot to mention, to get the 50% off, enter the code. You should see the promo code when you go to that page, but it's first 10, all one word, FIRST 10. So you enter first 10, that will get you the 50% off. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll be back soon.
It was fun.
Stay in touch. Again, I think Jeannine is excited and happy by all the feedback and the love that she got. So hopefully she will continue to come with me on these podcasts, because I do think, at least for me, it goes a lot better and
Aaron put the
easier
code
for
in.
me.
Aaron put the code in. She's sweet.
There's our daughter. Thank you. That's the code.
When
First
does it
10.
when does it start? It starts as soon as they
So
sign
yeah,
up.
as soon as you sign up,
Yeah.
you will immediately get access to the first module, the first week's module. So it's all based on the time from when you sign up. So you should get access like within 20 or 30 minutes from the point that you sign up. And then from there, each week thereafter, you'll get an additional 1 or 2 modules will be dripped out to you until you work your way through the entire course. And again, it's designed to be worked through within 5 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Thanks, Keisha.
Thank you, Keisha, my beautiful cousin. Yes, Jeannine is a great sidekick. She's a great partner. She's a great partner. Oh, and then there was one more. Love the channel. Definitely would like more insight on the Hunsakers.
Yeah, that'd be
I'm
cool.
torn between the Cotton Gin Gateway Hunsaker Bronco Pro. Also would like to hear thoughts on how Weber Smoky Mountain compares.
That's good.
Wow, that's a good question. So the Hunsaker, Cotton Gin, Gateway, I consider them to be very similar, like the same class, similar in terms of size, features. I don't even know that there's much that would separate them.
What about price?
Price may, well, I know the Hunsaker and the Gateway, I think, are very similar in terms of price. Cotton Gin, they make great drum smokers too. I'm not sure exactly on the price. I think they're all fairly similar.
I see.
One thing about drum smokers, they are also super great cookers. They are Like I talked about the Weber Summit Kamado being super versatile and easy to master. So are good, well-made drum smokers. I highly recommend them. So I think you would be fine with any of those three. I think it just comes down to, which features you like. Maybe there's something that kind of appeals to you about the way one is designed versus the other. If I recall correctly, I want to say the Cotton Gin has a way for you to access the coals that's like a door or a latch in the center of it, if I'm remembering this correctly. So I think that would be a plus for them. Gateway, they've got the kind of like the double exhaust on either side of the smoker. And then the Hunsaker, they've got that vortex. And then I think that's like the differentiator from them. Now the Bronco Pro, that's the only one that I'm not sold on that yet. I feel like the Bronco Pro, they've added in a lot of things that I think they feel appeals to people, but I don't know that all of it is really necessary. So I don't know. I'm a little iffy on the Bronco Pro. I could be wrong, but that's the one I'm not quite as confident just saying, yeah, go get the Bronco Pro. But I do think the Gateway, Cotton Gin, Hunsaker are all pretty comparable. And then how the Weber Smoky Mountain compares. Take this with a grain of salt, because I haven't. My first go round with the Smoky Mountain wasn't good, and I'm just getting my hands on it again. But just based on what I know, the Smoky Mountain is the iconic, it's the originator, right? When it comes to backyard smoking with that bullet shape, it's the iconic smoker. We've seen and we know that there are a lot of well-regarded pit masters out there who have cut their teeth using the Weber Smoky Mountain.
Well, not just cut their teeth, but won championships with
Right,
it.
exactly. I mean, yeah, if you listen to Harry Sue, he's won countless championships cooking on his Weber Smoky Mountains, and I know he's got all three sizes, the 14, the 18, and the 22. But I think functionally, what I like about the Weber Smoky Mountain is that it does give you some flexibility that maybe the others don't, in that it does have that water pan that you can use. You don't have to, but it's another option to help stabilize temperatures.
My dad used it religiously. He was constantly watching his water levels.
What I didn't know during my first trip with the Weber Smoky Mountain that I know now is that there are a bunch of accessories and things out there to help enhance the cook, like the larger charcoal basket, the hinge. There's some good accessories out there that I think will make this time around with it much better for me. I'm excited to get out there and cook with it. But I do see it as a little bit different from the drums, but very similar. I would say Weber Smoky Mountain, Gateway, Cotton Gin, Hunsaker, I think they're all great picks.
I think the Cotton Gin is more expensive. And I'm just looking at prices and I'm like, wow, that's a bit of a jump up. And I'm not sure if it would be worth it.
I think if it depends on if those additional features that the Cotton Gin offers, if that appeals to you, then I think it could be worth it.
I see. But
I think that they make a great drum smoker as well.
Okay.
I hope that helps. Okay, guys. So yeah, sorry, Keisha. Yeah, our camera crapped out on me.
Yeah.
So we're no longer on camera, but you guys can hear us. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Again, want to wish everyone a happy new year.
Unbelievable. We're already here.
We're
2024.
Here. So let's all win in 2024. Again, look for us. We'll be doing more podcasts, more videos. I think 2024 is going to be a great year for barbecue.
Yeah.
So,
I'm feeling like I'm wanting some, like, I don't know, you remember the pork belly. Do you feel like that might be something
Jeannine loves those pork bellies.
I love it.
Yes, smoked pork bellies. So
the best.
if you haven't had it, think bacon,
But
like
chunky bacon.
Yeah, chunky pieces of hunks of bacon,
Yummy.
done right and tender.
It's like candy. But like juicy candy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm feeling pork belly. I'm sorry.
All right, but there's a lot of prep involved with the pork belly.
I'm willing to cut it up.
Like Keisha said, likes to eat.
Sure do.
Likes to make suggestions.
I'll cut it up
know.
and I'll help season it because I know how to season it.
But when it's time to, she said something similar to me just this past weekend about how she really wanted to get involved with making the baby back ribs. All I asked her to do was to make the rub.
I got a little busy. I'm sorry.
I gave her a printout from the course.
Yes, you did.
With the
I got busy.
ingredients for the rub.
I got busy.
And she did not even make the rub. So
I'll do better.
We'll see. We shall see.
All right.
All right, guys. Thanks again, Aaron. Yes, the code for the course is FIRST10, and that will get you 50% off.
Yep.
Enjoy the year with a great barbecue course. So I'll let Aaron, our daughter, have the last word.
Absolutely.
Thanks again for tuning in, and we will see you soon.
Bye, everyone.